Okay, still working on that black column of symbols. And I noticed that there was a straight line one, and I thought, what could that possibly be? So I came back here and I see this puzzle, which I don't think I can solve unless I'm farther out on the water, which means it's time to get Bodhi. See, here's the one I'm trying to solve. And that's right in that direction. So if I'm right, then that's the puzzle I have left. You know, it's interesting. I noticed that there are two ways we could go, and both of them probably have secret puzzles. Let's go this way and go around to here, because I think I want to try to solve the puzzle in here. And I can actually make it go slower, which is interesting, though probably not for the people watching. So I may have to do some cutting. I'd like to think I'm getting better at video editing. This has actually taught me quite a lot. I just did this playthrough as a practice for getting better at presenting, and I could have chosen a more action-packed game, but I don't like action-packed games that much because my eyesight's so bad. So, man, these rocks really look like people. So I chose this one, and not only is it making me better at doing the talking, but also doing some simple video editing, like knowing when to cut and when not to cut. It looks like there might be something up here, or am I imagining it? Oh yeah, look at that. I didn't mean to try to do a 100% complete playthrough, but I think for this one it might be worth it. At least, I hope we get rewarded for doing a 100% complete playthrough. Ah, I have to do this coming back. Look how the light travels. So, yeah, I do. Because that's the end point and this one's all broken, is change course and go back on the inside track. Thank you, Bodhi. It is the all-powerful and magical kitty. And I've just finished up doing that cool boat puzzle, and now I'm going to go back to somewhere and do something. I know, that's really descriptive, but it's what I'm gonna do. See? Those are all done. So what remains? Okay, windmill puzzles. So far, nothing on this side, which is very fun. Windmill easy. Ooh, don't know what that is, but it's in this direction, and it's in the pink trees, which I didn't spend a whole lot of time in. Nothing here. Ooh. Lots of stuff over there. Is that the quarry? Okay, let's think. This is a large area. This one's head is really small. It probably means I have to be up high for it. Oh, right. The underground place. That thing I found, of course it's something. I just couldn't quite get there. They have to be in here. It has to. Because of this thing. Okay, if this is the path, then where is the end point? Really and truly, I just have to find the right place to do it from. This looks like a likely bet. Let's just see what we can see. I'm just going to do observation on this pass. But I'm going to try to... Okay. So let's go around here and do it. Well, I can't see a thing, so let's not... yeah, that's not helpful, is it? I know there is something here. It is too cool for there not to be something here. Did I stand here and do it? I don't think I did. Let's observe some more. Thus far, this is looking more possible than all of the other choices because there's the end point right there. Except that's not looking really round. Oh! Okay. Well, I'm getting close. Alright, that confirms my suspicions that there is indeed something, but I think it was going the wrong way. So let's do this again. I'm just going to do this as fast as I can and hope that I've got it. Pretty impressed. Oh no. No, there it is. I'm pretty impressed that I'm able to logic out all of these puzzles so far. Okay, there it is. That closes off that loop of suspicion. And I don't really know, but I think it could be done with this room. Let's go on to this one, which I didn't really check out. Oh my gosh, look at that. I saw it. Nice. I didn't think it would be that easy, honestly, but it was, so. That's good. Or I'm just getting a better feel for where I can find these sorts of puzzles, which is absolutely everywhere. Totally excited that I figured out that water one, though. And here we are, looking at our newly completed side. What a beautiful sight. Well, that one... there's nothing really out there. I haven't actually looked around. Moving on. That one's done. Okay. What about over here? Ooh. That's not looking friendly either. Okay, Windmill Land. Those I know I can do. But seeing them all laid out like this is good. Alright, I'm gonna go do that. So now we must return to the scene of the thing. Actually, whoa, you know what? While I'm at the windmill, I could go and listen to another one of those fascinating videos. I guess I'm gonna watch it too, because it's not just audio. Oh yeah, I see it. Is it this one?
And so, by a backhanded, upside-down argument, was predicted that there is in carbon a level at 7.82 million volts. And then experiments in the laboratory with carbon show indeed that there is. And therefore, the existence in the world of all these other elements is very closely related to the fact that there is this particular level in carbon. But the position of this particular level in carbon seems to us, after knowing the physical laws, to be a very complicated accident of 12 complicated particles interacting. So I wish to illustrate by this example that an understanding of the physical laws doesn't give you an understanding in a sense of understanding the significance of the world in any way. The details of real experience are very far often from the fundamental laws. There are, in a way of speaking in the world, we have a way of discussing the world which you could call, we discuss it at various hierarchies or levels. Now, I don't mean to be very precise, there's a level, there's another level, and another level, but I will indicate by describing a set of ideas to you, just one after the other, what I mean by hierarchies of ideas. For example, at one end, we have the fundamental laws of physics. Then we invent other terms for concepts which are approximate, who have, we believe, the ultimate explanation in terms of the fundamental laws. For instance, heat. Heat is supposed to be the jiggling, and it's just a word for a hot thing, is just a word for a mass of atoms which are jiggling. For that, fundamentally, we should think of the atoms jiggling. But for a while, if we're talking about heat, we sometimes forget about the atoms jiggling. Just like when we talk about the glacier, we don't always think of the hexagonal ice snowflakes which originally fell. Another example of the same thing is a salt crystal. Looked at fundamentally, it's a lot of protons, neutrons, and electrons. But we have this concept, salt crystal, which carries a whole pattern already of fundamental interactions, or idea like pressure. Now, if we go higher up from this, in another level, we have properties of substances like refractive index, how light is bent when it goes through something, or surface tension, the fact that the water tends to pull itself together, is described by a number. I remind you that we have to go through several laws down to find out that it's the pull of the atoms and so on. But we still say surface tension, and don't worry when we're discussing surface tension of the inner workings, always. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Go on, up in the hierarchy. With the water, we have the waves, and we have a thing like a storm. We have a word for storm, which represents an enormous mass of phenomena. Or sunspot, or star, which is an accumulation of things. And it's not worthwhile always to think of it way back. In fact, we can't, because the higher up we go, we have too many steps in between, each one of which is a little weak, and we haven't thought them all through yet. If we go up in this hierarchy of complexity, we get to things like frog, or nerve impulse, which you see is an enormously complicated thing in the physical world, involving an organization of matter in a very elaborate complexity. And then we go on, we come to things, words, and concepts like man, and history, or political expediency, and so forth, which is a series of concepts that we use to understand things at an ever higher level. And going on, we come to things like evil, and beauty, and hope. Now, which end is nearer to the ultimate creator, or the ultimate? So if I make a religious metaphor, which end is nearer to God? Beauty and hope, or the fundamental laws? I think that the right way, of course, is to say that the whole structural interconnections of the thing is the thing that we have to look at, and that the sequence of hierarchy, that all the sciences and all the efforts not just the sciences, but all the efforts of intellectual kind, are to see the connections of the hierarchies is to connect beauty to history, is to connect history to man's psychology, the man's psychology to the working of the brain to the neural impulse to the chemistry, and so forth, up and down, both ways. And today we cannot, and there's no use making believe we can, draw carefully a line all the way from one end of this thing to the other. In fact, we've just begun to see that there is this relative hierarchy. And so I don't think either end is nearer to God's. And to stand at either end and to walk out off the end of the pier only, hoping out in that direction is the complete understanding, is a mistake. And to stand with evil and beauty and hope, or to stand with the fundamental laws, hoping that way to get a deep understanding of the whole world, with that aspect alone, is a mistake. And it is not sensible either for the ones who specialize at one end and the ones who specialize at the other end to have such disregard for each other. They don't, actually, but the people say they do. But that actually the great mass of workers in between, connecting one step to another, are improving all the time our understanding of the world, both from working at the ends and working in the middle. And in that way, we are gradually understanding this connection, this tremendous world of interconnecting hierarchies.
If you expected science to give all the answers to the wonderful questions about what we are, what the meaning of the universe is, and so on, then I think you could easily disillusioned and then look for some mystic answer. How a scientist can take a mystic? No, because the whole spirit is to understand. Well, never mind that. I don't understand. But anyhow, if you think of it, though, the way I think of what we're doing is we're exploring. We're trying to find out as much as we can about the world. People say to me, are you looking for the ultimate laws of physics? No, I'm not. I'm just looking to find out more about the world. And if it turns out there is a simple ultimate law that explains everything, so be it. That would be very nice to discover. If it turns out it's like an onion with millions of layers and we're just sick and tired of looking at the layers, then that's the way it is. But whatever way it comes out, its nature is there and she's going to come out the way she is. And therefore, when we go to investigate it, we shouldn't pre-decide what it is we're trying to do except to find out more about it. If you say, but your problem is, why do you find out more about it? If you thought that you were trying to find out more about it because you're going to get an answer to some deep philosophical question, you may be wrong. It may be that you can't get an answer to that particular question by finding out more about nature. But I don't look at it. My interest in science is to simply find out about the world. The more I'd like to find out. There are very remarkable mysteries about the fact that we're able to do so many more things than apparently can do, and other questions like that. But those are mysteries I want to investigate without knowing the answer to. And so altogether, I can't believe the special stories that have been made up about our relationship to the universe at large, because they seem to be too simple, too connected, too local, too provincial. The earth, he came to the earth. One of the aspects of God came to the earth, mind you. And look at what's out there. How can it isn't in proportion. Anyway, it's no use arguing. I can't argue it. I'm just trying to tell you why the scientific views that I do have some effect. It also, another thing, has to do with the question of how do you find out if something's true? And if you have all these theories of the different religions, have all different theories about the thing, then you begin to wonder. Once you start doubting, just like you're supposed to doubt, you ask me, is the science true? We say, no, we don't know what's true. Trying to find out. Everything is possibly wrong. Start out understanding religion by saying everything is possibly wrong. Let us see. As soon as you do that, you start sliding down an edge, which is hard to recover from. And so with the scientific view, or my father's view, that we should look to see what's true and what may not be true, once you start doubting, which I think is, to me, is a very, very fundamental part of my soul, is to doubt. When you doubt and ask, it gets a little harder to believe. You see, one thing is I can live with doubt and uncertainty and not knowing. I think it's much more interesting to live not knowing than to have answers which might be wrong. I have approximate answers and possible beliefs and different degrees of certainty about different things. But I'm not absolutely sure of anything. And then many things I don't know anything about, such as whether it means anything to ask why we're here and what the question might mean. I might think about it a little bit. If I can't figure it out, then I go to something else. But I don't have to know an answer. I don't feel frightened by not knowing, by being lost in the mysterious universe without having any purpose, which is the way it really is, as far as I can tell possible. It doesn't frighten me.
Okay, I can't believe they put that whole thing in there. I believe I saw it in science class once when I was taking physics. But I did notice, because it gave me a lot of time to think, that surely this is an endpoint. And this as well. And that looks round. So there's something going on here. However, I think I will probably need to unlock 3 more videos to do it. So I'm going to take one last look. And how do I get down here? Alright, where is this? There's an entrance over there. I'm going to take a last look at that. Black speaker stack. And observe the symbols. And now I'm completely turned around. I wanted to see where that entrance was to that place, but I can't do that now. That I have no idea where I am. Done. This is next.